Welcome everybody to HotMakes, the show where we have cool guests and show off cool stuff that everybody else makes. I'm Caleb.
Yo.
This is Jim. Nerdy J.
What up?
I like how much energy you have. You're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? Well, at first I was like, I wonder where he went. I wasn't paying attention to the screen. And I was like,
what you didn't see behind the scenes before we started was I was kind of like going back and forth.
No, I was literally, I'm hungry, and I was eating my pub.
Hi, hungry, I'm dad.
And looking at my phone quick because my little guy had his second night of Irish dance tonight, and I was.
Is he old enough to have Irish dance?
He's 3, and it's more like Irish run around and play, and they do some dance things. I think I have a toddler. The thing is, I just noticed my wife actually sent videos, and I didn't get to see them yet. So I'm like, oh. So yeah, that's what I was looking at. But anyways,
all right. Well, anyway, everything we talk about on the show today will be linked in the description of the video. We also hope you enjoy the show. If you do, consider donating to the show's Oreo fund so that Jim can dunk Oreos in water like a maniac. Although I totally understand where you're coming from. Maybe you probably will. You most likely will.
Yeah, me.
Most likely.
John, if you're watching, come find me. Say hi. We'll get some Oreos together.
Sounded ominous.
We'll call Caleb and be like, where you at? Huh?
Anyway, but there's a link in the description for if you want to donate to the show's Oreo fund. Just put HotMakes in the notes.
Yeah.
We also have super chats and such that you can throw in the chat below because this channel is up to being monetized now. And Nightbot is posting that in the chat. But if you're on the Edge of Tech channel that we're simulcasting on, or I don't think Gus, no, he did not. Just come over to the HotMakes channel, HotMakes Live. Make sure that you're subscribed there. We're over 1,000 and we want to just keep growing that. Oh, and side note, what I didn't have in the notes for the beginning is we're at 850 Twitter followers. So we're only 150 away from 1,000. Let's see if we can get 1,000 to the Twitters.
Yeah.
So
let's get
that's everything.
Get there.
That's all the big stuff.
Hey, someone earlier, real quick. People are saying hi. What's up?
There's a lot
Gus. Everybody's saying "Hey Gus," by the way. I love
there's a lot of "Hey Gus's."
Yeah.
Gus,
real quick,
Gus.
Real quick, I want to go back up. May I ask? Is your experience and advice to buy a CNC machine for building guitars as a personal home business and personal use mainly? Personal use mainly. Very appreciated. And I do love your awesome channels. Hey, if you're down with the CNC, and you want to jump in, go for it. It'll definitely mill out guitars if you're going to do them in wood. I have a Onefinity. You'll be seeing that soon on the channel. Spoiler alert. I don't know. I haven't filmed it yet, but it's coming. So I have a Onefinity. Love them. And it's super useful for stuff like that. If you're going to print them. I mean, don't buy a CNC if you're going to print them. There's that. So, yeah. I know a lot of people are chiming in on that, so I appreciate that in the chat.
Man, there's so many Gus's in the chat. Everybody loves Gus.
Everybody loves Gus. Murph,
you too.
This weekend coming up, Murph.
Yeah, you excited?
2023. Yeah, I'm excited.
You scared?
No,
you look terrified.
I think it's going to be awesome. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm curious to see what it is this year.
Probably a Rep Rap Festival, most likely.
I mean, how busy
in the middle of nowhere.
I know there's it's the OG, it's the original, and it's pretty. It's always fun. It's so cool because I can drive there. It's only like 4 hours away. I know Sam Prentice is in town. I'm not sure if he's watching, but if he's not, he should be because he's in town and he can watch it live. Anyways, he's in town with the tripod. Probably holding him up right now.
He might be dealing with like jet lag. He might be sleeping on the drive.
I would be. What's probably happening is like Sam is down on all fours and tripod has one leg on Sam's back.
Where's this going? I don't like where this is going. This is some weird human centipede stuff. I don't like it.
So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm super pumped. We have I think we're gonna try to do a super booth. It'll be Tripod, Sam, and I. We have a whole bunch of stuff planned for battle racing, and we have.
I've seen some cool stuff,
all sorts of cool stuff. So swing by.
Yeah, Sam was showing me some stuff behind the scenes. I'm excited to see how your guys' display looks.
It's going to be so much fun. I don't know if I can show it off yet, so I won't because I don't have Sam's permission. But also, I'm really curious to see where it goes this year, how busy it is, and all that. We with Remurf just a couple short months ago, like 2 short months ago, literally. Tomorrow or the next day will be 2 months ago, and Earth, I'm sorry, in the end of September, so only a couple months away. They're all like kind of close. And I know
they're really close.
I'm pretty sure that some like Joel isn't going to come, I don't believe, and Pooch isn't going to be there. And
Pooch isn't going to be at Murph.
No, and some of the main people that you see, all the Murphs aren't going to be there. But I know Chuck Hullabuck will be there. I believe on Saturday only. He has to leave, I believe, on Sunday.
And it looks like they're doing another drag race too, not just the battle racers.
I believe we'll have drag races, battle races, all the good stuff will be there. But as you can tell right now, it's not organized because Murph isn't organized.
It never is. That's the thing. Like usually news comes out last minute for that show.
Fix some dude.
Yes, there we go.
Deck, fix some dude table. Yes.
Do that.
You there. I can't wait to see
that thing.
There.
Do the thing.
Amish carts, don't forget the Amish carts. But so, it's just not
crack donuts.
They're not organized. Crack donuts. I'm going to get crack donuts.
I know you're excited about those crack donuts.
And I'm super pumped to be there. I'm excited to hang out with everybody. I'm bringing a buddy, Steve, down. He's been there the last couple years. I'm sad, Caleb, that you're not going, but I understand. I get it.
I'm sad too. Yeah.
You can't just lose your house in a tornado and then decide to drive to Earth.
Well, I mean, and we made it to we made it to Remurf, but it was a kind of a different situation. We had sponsors and we were doing event photography and videography and stuff like that. This one, because it's a little less organized, I didn't really feel comfortable like reaching out and saying like, hey, you want to like maybe help me in there to anybody really. So
right.
And now at this point, there were a couple people who were like, oh, shoot, like, how do we get you there? And I'm like, well, at this point, it's too late for me to ask for time off work. Like I should have asked a month ago because I'm going to need those extra days. So at this point, there's really nothing I can do. We're too close to the event, but next year will be extra epic. Sarah and I will both be there. I'm not going to promise anything, but almost promise, like 99% promise. Sarah and I will both be there next year.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get you to either Earth or Remurf before that though.
I would love to go to Earth, but I know we're definitely going back to Remurf next year. That was an epic event. It
was a lot of fun. Someone said drinking.
Speaking of Remurf,
Murph is mentioned. There you go.
Do you call that DERF? Drinking rep? I don't know.
Nice.
I saw a lot of people saying they were drinking. Some people saying what they were drinking. What are you guys drinking?
What are you drinking? Yeah, I always say that. Like I got my bubbly. I can't even focus on myself.
I saw that earlier.
I had my coffee already, so
there you go.
There's that. But speaking of Remurf,
you ready to Gus it up?
We met him at Remurf briefly. I think you probably talked to him longer than I did because I didn't really talk to many people long.
We actually hang out with him at main event that night. At the Thanks get together.
That's okay.
Yeah, Sarah and I were sitting there. That's how I met him at first. Was at the end of the table. We were sitting there chatting it up the whole time. We might as well just bring him in at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we can just talk to him behind his back the whole show. I like that idea.
That works perfectly. I could bring him in and mute him so we can see him cry. No, I'm kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Studleyavocado.
Hey, you know what they say? Friends who Gus together are stick to. I don't know. Hey, Gus.
Friends.
Oh boy.
You ready? You guys ready to Gus?
Stick to Gus. Stay together.
Yeah.
I'm like
there you go.
Friends who Gus together. But nope, not good.
Nope.
Nope.
How you doing?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Doing all right.
I was like, I know you were there, and I know I saw you in talk. I thought I talked to you. And I'm like, he just said on Friday at the place we ate pizza and all that stuff. I was like, there you go. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I know we just didn't blow by you and like live HotMakes and not stop. I know you guys talked at some point. So
we were hanging out most of the time. We were sitting in there eating and stuff.
Yeah. So what's up? Before we get too far, let's just pause for a second. Who are you? What do you do? And where can we find your stuff? And then we'll jump right into it.
Okay, so I'm large now.
Yeah.
I'm large all the time, so hey.
So my name's Gus. I go by Studleyavocado on pretty much anything online. AVOCADO as it's spelled on the screen, but that's where you can find stuff that I post. I do a lot of cosplay and design around that, but also career-wise, I work with animatronics and making and designing props for film and television. I also last year interned at E3D as a engineering intern.
That's awesome.
And am in the process of returning to E3D as their test engineer.
Oh, cool.
So I'm waiting on government documents to come back to me, but I'm pretty excited about that as well.
Nice. That'd be
Government
awesome.
documents.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds very.
Yeah.
If you tell us, you're gonna have to kill us.
I mean, to be fair, a government document is also your driver's license. So we've all got secret government documents that we don't want to share with everyone.
Yeah.
But
Practical printing.
If Studleyavocado gets squished into Halo armor, is that how guacamole is made?
it is.
Guacamole.
Sorry, did you say guacamole?
Guacamole. I did say
Guacamole.
I was
I
like,
go from-
"Ugh."
I go from Studleyavocado to handsome guacamole.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go.
That
That's
makes
the-
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when it goes bad in the fridge, then it's just okay to look at guacamole.
Okay to look. We can tolerate it.
Yeah.
So
So I'm sure you get this question a lot, but
Mhm.
first things first. I don't think I've ever asked you can I take a guess as to where Studleyavocado came from?
Please, I'd like to hear.
I am going to guess that it was Xbox Live back like maybe on the 360, and you did like one of the automatic I don't know what to make my username, so I'm gonna do the automatic randomly generated one, and you just stuck with it.
Yeah, kind of close.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually more close than most people get it. It was literally so. As for generating Xbox gamer tags, you always have the two words that squish together, right? A noun and a verb, or however that system worked. My original gamer tag was United Payload, and I loved that because I was like, cool, it's an airplane thing. I love airplanes. But then
I want to take that somewhere, but I'm not going to. This is a family show.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. Listen,
Nope.
I'm sure you've heard all the jokes.
I didn't even think of it, and then some guy on, I was playing Halo 3 one time, and a guy got on, and he was very creative with what he called me, and so, but after a while, I was trying to think of a username for another social media website, and I was like, I want to be something a little bit more different than, the United Payload sounds a little too generic, and so I always liked the gamer tags that Xbox generated that were like something and then a fruit.
Yeah.
And so there was cool mango and fiery orange or whatever, and stuff like that. And I was like,
Slippery banana.
What would be a good combination of those? And then I was like, man, I like avocados.
Thanks.
And Studley is not a word, but I can make it a word.
There you go.
And so that is how Studleyavocado came to be. And
Nice.
I find it even better because avocados are generally looked at and they're like, they're wrinkly and kind of gross looking.
right.
And I was like, what if they were really attractive though? Like super attractive.
That would be the pits, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
So I have to address something in the chat real quick before we go too far. Chris, Practical Printing says at Andrew Rogers, I found a bunch of pictures of your sister yesterday cleaning out the attic. Need to get them scanned. I don't know what's going on there.
What is going on here?
There's
Pictures of Andrew's sister in your attic, but
Is practical printing okay?
Seems like practical printing is mistaken the chat for writing a letter to a loved one.
I was cleaning out the attic and I found lovely
Dearest
pictures
beloved
of your sister. Anyway,
yeah.
sorry.
So practical printing, blink twice if you need help.
Yeah.
So so you got this new name. You found Studleyavocado. You put it on your new social media. How did you come into doing like games and Halo 3, that kind of stuff, to like what you do now?
Well, so I really loved Machinima back in the day.
Yeah.
I 10 out of 10. I've always been a huge fan of character design and stuff like that. And on top of that, the gameplay of Halo when I was younger, it just captured my imagination. I absolutely adored it. And in all of that coming together, I saw a lot of people cosplaying characters from Machinima, and basically it just was, making Halo armor. And in of that, back in early 2010, I started searching around online for instructions on how to do that. And I found the community that is the 405th. And,
yeah, I want to get into that in a second.
All the way back then they were making tutorials and guides and stuff. But I've always loved making costumes. When I was younger, my brother and I made I made my brother and I like superhero costumes, and
Nice.
we ran around and played around with that. And so it just kind of is a natural progression that I fell into making larger stuff that I absolutely loved. And I really wanted
stuff
to
that
make
you
it,
can wear.
Yeah, I really wanted to make it accurate, because all of the like store-bought costumes of like clone troopers and stuff from Star Wars and stuff were always so disappointing.
The Ruby stuff and old Dawn Post stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So
just the rubber masks.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
man.
This looks like an album cover, by the way. I really want to put a explicit content sticker down at the bottom of it.
You should. I mean, I've been thinking about it. I like it too. I like the image that goes with that one, because it looks like we've knocked over a guy who's carrying his lunch.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But yeah, so I got into all of that, and I actually made my first suit out of paper. My first Halo suit out of paper.
Like
during
Pepakura?
high school. Yeah, with Pepakura.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
What's a Pepakura?
It's a program online for paper crafting, where basically it takes a 3D model, divides it by its polygons or geometry, and then flattens it out so that you can print out the patterns, cut them out, and then like glue them all together. And then once they're glued together, it should look like what you've wanted to make.
Oh,
You set like your paper size, and it'll like chop it up into like you'll have 2 or 3 polygons, you'll have 2 or 3 triangles with like tabs, and they'll all be numbered, and the software just automatically does that. And when you print out like 50 of these pages and cut them all out and glue all the tabs together, you'll have a 3D item.
How do
It was a way to do
wear
things before. You got to finish it up. Usually, if I remember correctly, you kind of like coat it and soak it in like fiberglass and stuff, and then start finishing it like a normal piece.
Yeah. So you generally like coat it with a resin or something, and then fiberglass the inside for structure.
Got it.
And that was very popular, like before like consumer desktop 3D printers were showing up in people's houses.
Yeah, it was the way to do it. There were 2 ways to do it mainly back then. Well, 3, I guess. One was Pepakura, and 3D printing before 3D printing.
Yeah.
Exactly, Mitch. One was Pepakura. And if you made a Pepakura that was good enough, you could actually mold and cast it.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of stuff like that existed. There were a couple of people that like sculpted their own stuff, and then they'd mold and cast it. And then the other one was kind of a newer form when I was getting into it, but basically taking Pepakura files and simplifying them, and then cutting out foam mats.
Okay.
Of,
yeah.
Out of
It was like, basically. And they had a feature like that too, where you would take the tabs off of it, and I think could you set material thickness too, so you could take the tabs off of it, and it would kind of give you a I think in
Maybe.
later versions there might have been that.
Probably.
But I don't know.
I was
That was
working
about
with very early version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I could get my hands on.
So
Yeah.
was Pepper Kira like what Kira came from? If I'm 3D print, no, just joking.
I've
doubt- I
always
bet.
kind of
Possibly.
associated them together. Honestly,
Really?
Yeah.
I never made that
Yeah.
connection.
I've always thought of that because I was like, oh, it's Kira. It's like Pepper.
Yeah. Okay.
Ultimaker
Well,
might have been
Kira,
like,
but Pepper
huh.
Kira is spelled with a K though.
It is. Yeah.
So maybe not.
Maybe. A lot of people knew what it was though. That I was very surprised. And
We were more surprised that you didn't know what it was,
I
sir.
had no idea. No idea. That's why I asked. That's why we get the good stuff here. No, so
Eat foam poop props.
Boom.
you know, it's interesting. We haven't heard back from Practical Printing. So
I'm telling you, something's wrong.
he
Had a
might be
stroke.
blinking, but nothing.
Yeah. My
Either
brother's in
that or
chat.
he's got blackmail of Andrew's sister.
Is that the other? Is that the other Williams?
Yeah. He says
That's
he remembers
fun.
those superhero costumes.
remember
which
those?
is
Yeah.
good because he was very young.
Yeah.
What were they? Do you remember?
He was Fishman.
Okay.
He had the power
Cut.
of fish. Not entirely sure. I didn't expand upon that any further. And I think I was
I love
Tree
that.
Guy,
I love this.
You were
and I
So-
had the power of the forest.
Fishman.
so.
You
what
had the
you're
powers of a tree?
What you're saying is that costume went swimmingly.
Mhm.
So
jeez. All right.
ah, come on.
It was something
on.
special.
Yes, something. Oh man.
Out of my depth with these jokes, guys.
Oh boy. Anyways, I went to high school with Andrew Rogers' sister. No big thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
I would say that too if she was captive in my attic. Anyways,
Ooh.
I'm just playing. So
Woo.
you started it with the Pepper Kira that I never knew existed till right now.
Mhm.
Then what happened? Like, where'd you go from there? Like, your first one was that. Then what?
Yeah, so I did all that, and then graduated high school, and college got in the way of some things, and then I built my second suit, which was basically exactly the Pepakira thing.
Mhm.
Or it was Pepakira all over again, but this time I had learned a lot more. I used a lot more auto body finishing techniques to finish that suit, so it looked a little bit better. Which is, you know, if you ever need to make something look nice, just look at how people fix cars.
Yeah.
Because that it helps. It can make anything look good. Not necessarily structurally sound, but it can make anything look good.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I didn't really do all that much. I made random props here and there. I made some during the Pokemon Go craze. I made some replica Pokeballs that
Nice.
that I drilled out and put lights and buttons in, and that was a ton of fun.
Nice.
And I got into building my own smaller battle bots and all that. But after
Whoa.
that, I discovered 3D printing.
You just
which
kind
I'd
of gloss
always-
over that one?
Yeah. Well, don't worry about it.
Like how big? Okay.
it was an ant weight. It was about this big.
That's
Nice.
fun.
It weighed 16 ounces and never saw the light of day because it would fall apart before it would ever hit another battle bot.
Ah.
Nice.
Um,
Oh,
but yeah,
man.
so I discovered 3D printing. Well, didn't discover. I learned that 3D printing was a lot more accessible and cheaper than it had been when I previously had seen it. Actually, at conventions for the or when I was wearing my armor and stuff.
Nice.
Mhm.
And I thought, oh, that's neat. And it never even crossed my mind that you could do armor with it. And I individually got into 3D printing just to make stuff and to kind of facilitate a lot of my making that I'd been doing here and there. And that was when I first got my Ender 3 and then spent, I think, the next 100 hours of my life, not consecutively, but
I didn't eat or sleep.
over over like 4 or 5 months, obsessed with it, learning
Yeah.
everything there was to learn about it. I mean, everyone who has bought a 3D printer can probably relate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To where it's either, you know, it falls apart a little too quickly and you get frustrated with it and you feel like there's too many goblins to even continue, and then to the point where, well, I know how everything is put together, but I'm not entirely certain how it works, and then you get into the firmware and then you give up entirely. But I was doing that, and I was building RC aircraft with that, and then I went, you know, I could probably make another costume with this.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
then with that,
That was the end of it.
Yeah, that kind of thought, and now for the last 3 years, I've been embroiled in the 3D printing community. Well, I've been in the 3D printing community longer than that, but embroiled back into the cosplay community, getting further and further into the 3D printing community and making community, along with teaching myself CAD and engineering skills all along the way. So
That's
Nice.
awesome. So do you use 3D printing like primarily for all of your cosplay stuff now? Like what percentage?
primarily, yes. So I'm currently working on a new suit, actually, and I didn't.
Is it the one you showed us before we jumped on?
No. This is one that
Oh.
I had some prints that were raw at Remerf.
Okay.
Which you guys probably saw. I'm not sure if I showed them off too much, but
Yeah, I remember seeing. I feel like the draw to the eyes at your booth was the big armor, the big orange armor,
Mhm.
and like the helmets, and then the skull helmet. Like,
yeah, the skull helmet was.
I don't
so
remember
cool.
there being some work in progress stuff. Oh, and the face hugger.
Yes, the face hugger. Yeah,
Which was so
I can
cool.
talk about that in a second. Yeah, so actually, like, I had a friend help me print the chest piece because I was making it under a time crunch.
Mhm.
A bunch of makers actually helped me kind of put their printers together and banged rocks until a suit came out. But that suit also, I wanted it to be more comfortable than my current, a little more durable.
Mhm.
And I've made the thighs and the boots out of foam. So
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
I'd say it's 70% printed.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And I'd like to incorporate more, a lot more different manufacturing methods in my cosplay and prop making in the future. But
Yeah, that's what I
A
was
face
laughing
hugger.
about.
Yeah, is that what you're laughing at too? Yeah.
Oh, I love it. No, it's interesting that you're mixing. I think that's a cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people do, but it's awesome because you're like, yeah, I think this part needs to be more comfortable. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
This part pushes a
historically,
little
historically, anything like that is not comfortable. Like, not, it's just not comfortable to wear, right? And I think, nice. I think it's awesome when you can make it more comfortable than it was.
Yeah.
So do you have anything near you? I know we talked a little bit before. Do you have anything you can show us,
Yeah. You
yeah,
had
I've
something
got-
cool you were showing us before we jumped on.
or can we see that?
Yeah. So I have a couple of prints. This is one that's cat sized and or really.
Are you gonna
large
put it on a
ferret
cat?
sized.
Are you actually going to put it on a little animal?
It's too small for my cat.
Oh.
But
Now I need to
this-
print one for my cat though.
Yeah. This was the Mark 6 helmet that I modeled in Fusion.
Oh, nice. You modeled that.
for a friend. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's every single project that I make, I try to learn and improve a skill that I have so that my next project can be more comfortable, more accessible to other people, and just Meowster Chief.
Yeah.
Cat ears don't fit on Meowster Chief, I'm afraid.
We're gonna reel the crowd in with this one.
Oh, the cat ears.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes. Fantastic.
They're a little too big.
So good.
But yeah,
are you gonna attach those to your Recon?
You say that. I have some pink ones that are currently sitting at the Raptor House Effects shop.
Fantastic.
That are gonna get finished and set up and slapped on my helmet.
I
And
like it. I like it. How are you
yeah.
going to attach them?
Magnets.
Magnets?
With my new suit, I actually have.
How do they work? Nobody knows.
Who knows? Listen. Trying to figure out magnets for this suit has been a wild ride, and that's one of the things that I've been learning and improving on. And so figuring out magnets for my recon has been wild. I think I have 110-pound magnets.
Jeez.
Just sitting around,
For
ready to hold those ears on.
wow. Okay. So I'm assuming underneath the suit though, you primarily use a lot of strapping and like buckles and stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any pieces that are primarily held on by magnets?
On my current suit, no.
Okay. Just the ears.
Yeah, just the ears. Currently, most of my stuff is held together with like plumber's epoxy, and
okay.
I actually have all of the strapping that holds the individual pieces together are rivets. So I just use pop rivets to put them into the prints, which is one of the advantages of 3D printing your armor, is that you can kind of design it to have those rivets put into or be placed inside of the print rather, and they hold onto the walls. Which is, it works out really well because that was one of the biggest challenges that most costumes are absolutely held together with hope and zip ties. Mine still feels like it's held together with hope.
Hope and zip ties is my new band name.
Yeah, it has so much. It has so much fiberglass and hot glue and E6000 and plumber's epoxy and barge and just every single kind of adhesive you could think of is in that suit.
All the schmoo.
Yeah.
Crazy. So, I don't know if you can show it. You had a bigger one next to you.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you talk about that?
This is my friend's. This one or the color?
Both.
This one. Okay. So this one's my friend's. It's the operator from Halo Reach.
I can't tell. Is that the raw print?
Yeah.
Or has that been finished a little bit already?
This is
okay.
That has been sanded.
Gotcha. That is so cool.
Our friend Studleyavocado Props has actually modeled this, printed, and sanded it. And he actually sells files on Etsy, and he does everything himself. He's an amazing maker.
What's his name?
I'm proud to call him my friend. Skookum Props, like
Skookum, that was like
the drug from Skyrim.
Yeah, I think when we were hanging out at Remurf, you were telling me about. I just realized I never actually popped you. There we go. Because on my screen I can see mine and Jim's camera, but all right.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, no, we were talking to Remurf about that, and I think you sent me to his Instagram as well.
Everybody's trying to pay you to toss that thing, just let
I'm not
it fly.
gonna.
No.
Well, I have printers. I could probably.
Why would people do that?
I'm not gonna toss it.
This guy is pure chaos. Chris, he says, "Drop it. It's funny."
Yeah, and he's
I'll give you a hint as to who originally printed it and modeled it.
Is it him?
I'm guessing it's this guy right here.
Yeah.
Oh no, the guy that says no. Yeah.
No, that's this person's helmet.
Oh,
belongs to.
So the designer and the end client basically are both fighting over whether or not to destroy it.
They're both trying to cause chaos, and
awesome.
It roped me into it somehow.
Yeah. So which one's gonna pay you better? That's what we need to find. No, just joking.
That's the question.
So what do you use to print? What filament?
Well, so I don't particularly stick with a single brand of filament. In terms of just material, I print in PLA. PLA Plus is a good alternative. I like the eSun PLA Plus just because it can be fairly consistent. The color consistency can be off, but when you're sanding it and painting it, it doesn't really matter all that much.
Right.
But I prefer, if I can, to use as much PETG as possible, just because hot Colorado summers, leaving prints and stuff in the car, especially when they're large prints like that, they can sag and melt a little bit.
Yeah.
So I generally prefer PETG. That, and along with on top of that, the kind of more elastic properties that PETG can provide make it a little easier to not shatter immediately.
Yeah.
It still will
And
shatter, but
it sands almost like ABS too. Like PLA just gets gummy when you sand it.
yeah. And I have a friend actually who he's the one who made the face hugger we mentioned earlier. He prints in all ABS still to this day. He started printing back in like 2014, 2015. And he uses ABS, and with all of the things he makes, he actually melts down the supports for the ABS and uses it as a adhesive slurry.
Oh, that's really smart.
That's cool. That's a good idea.
That's really smart.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
I take it
I started a yeah. I put a poll up. Should Gus break the helmet?
I'm not gonna break. If any helmet breaks, it's gonna be this one, because this one's a crime against mankind.
What?
Okay, talk about that one. That one's cool because you were telling us before the show that there was an issue with it that you fixed pretty cool in a pretty cool way.
So this one was also modeled and designed by Skookum Props, but I was printing it for my friend, and I was running low on filament, guys, as we've all been there. And I was printing it on my Ender 5 Plus, and so the filament sensor was doing a pretty good job, and then it jammed up by this layer of green that looks all gammy and gunky.
Yeah.
And so I used a 3D printing pen to kind of bridge the gap around the rest of the kind of where it's all falling apart. And then I used a soldering iron with a flat tip to kind of smooth that all out. And then, sanded it a lot to try to get that down. It still needs a ton of work. It still needs a lot of Bondo and filler.
It looks good though.
But it's a fun, it's a rainbow helmet. It's a good time.
Yeah.
So when it jammed, did it stop printing entirely, and then you printed the top section separately and then attached the two, or did it just have some empty spots?
It jammed, and basically what had happened was, well, hold on. I can tell you more accurately if I look closer at it. Yeah, so it jammed in a way that you can actually tell there's no green on this corner. Because it actually was still printing down there.
Okay.
And it printed fine there, but then it was having troubles bridging over here. And so what I did was I just paused it, changed the filament, and started printing. And it was, with the supports on it, it was looking okay.
Yeah.
And then I took it off the printer, and it, hinged open. Kill Bill style, and I was like, "Oh no!" So I took the 3D printing pen and welded it all together, which actually is how how I kind of figured out how I want to adhere all of my 3D prints together forever, which is just taking a spare piece of filament and melting it into the print, because at that point you're less you're not generating as much of a weak point on the print that can like just pop off with an adhesive or something. That's actually like, it has, if not better adhesion than like print lines, because you're melting the plastics together.
I like it.
So that works pretty well.
I never thought of that.
Melt it
I'm surprised it's the first time. Yeah, just melt it together. Use the 3D print pen thing specifically though, because I've seen people kind of use the soldering irons with the flat tip to kind of like get rid of some seam lines, in some pieces, if there's two pieces that they glued together or whatever. But using the print pen first is cool.
Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
Good idea. Epoxy coat and good to go, Chris says.
He's feral.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently,
the speed of which he finishes props, and the amount of ways you'd think we're jank that he just makes make things work. Panini press
Ed is hungry.
Honestly, I've never tried that. I don't try to eat my prints as often. But
Might work.
Sometimes the transparent filaments look a little candy-like.
So,
Yeah, tasty.
What's next? You're working
Now I'm
on a new
hungry.
seat, or working on a new suit, right?
Are you working on
Yeah.
a new seat?
I'm working on a new seat. I'm getting ready to take my seat in Congress. No.
I'll be your biggest fan, like your brother.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
We're back
There
to
we
the
go.
fish.
Yeah.
We're back to the fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my next project
think about
is working on. Oh
Jeez.
my god.
He's just hooked on those jokes.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
The net of them, like all together, yeah.
Oh, I should have thought of that joke. Damn.
Anyways,
Sorry.
Trying me up.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah. So next project currently is a new suit. It's a Mark 7 from the new Halo.
Nice.
It's based off of a J-pop idol, and that's been a ton of fun. A great learning experience because I've been making it I had been making it in a huge time crunch. And once that crunch had passed, I've been able to kind of slow down and work a little bit more on it, more intentionally. But it did teach me how fast I can commit, crafting crimes. And get away with it, which has been a ton of fun.
Crafting crimes.
Crimes.
Hedgehog makes. He changed his name.
Yeah, I guess so.
I didn't even
Wonder
know
what's going on there.
I'm terrible. I am terrible at social media. Apparently,
Always
if
known
you
as
make
Zombie.
3 of them in a row, does Brian Vines show up? That's awesome.
Oh, three.
Yeah,
Three puns. Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody has any questions, throw them in the chat.
Yes,
Yeah.
toss them in. So, what is you mentioned earlier? A group of people you guys you kind of got with. What is it? The 504th, you said, or 405th?
The 405th.
the
Yeah.
405th.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Well, so
Because aren't you the CO of a local group? I mean, I keep wanting to call it Garrison because of the 501st, but
yeah, we're regiments.
Regiments. Got it.
We all have our own names for it, but
Yeah.
it's all the same thing, really.
Got it.
Yeah. So 405th is just the group that I work with the most. I'm the RCO of Mountain Regiment, so I kind of oversee events and members of like the Colorado to Nevada to Montana kind of square of states. It all ends at California and Washington, and then New Mexico and Arizona aren't part of us. But yeah, so I've been RCO since 2020.
That's
a
cool.
RCO.
Yeah, the regional commanding officer.
Got it. Okay.
Or regimental command. I don't know. Regional sounds better to me.
Whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
I'm a Discord mod with a fancy title.
Yeah. President, basically.
mod.
President of the club.
I'm a forum mod online.
Yeah.
Fancy little title, which makes me sound a little more impressive to employers, I think. But I've really loved working with people like Miles and other people I said Nevada through Colorado. Utah's in there. It's in the middle.
Blanket statement.
I can't believe this.
How dare you RCO?
I didn't forget any of my children. I just blanket stated it. But yeah, so we do events and stuff. We got to go to the Halo TV show Red Carpet event in LA.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which was a ton of fun, and we often send members and have a presence at a lot of cons, a lot of the Halo Championship Series events and stuff that have happened. So like MLG Gaming and stuff. But really, the community has been really welcoming and it's a place
Sorry,
that
that
I
was me.
want to. It's a place that I want to keep welcoming, and keep open so that all of the resources and knowledge that people share online, just out of the goodness of their hearts,
Yeah.
kind of stays alive. I think if there are people out there who are feeling like a lot of their interests and things are kind of silly, or they don't really know what they want to do, or who they can relate with, but they like to make,
Mhm.
but they're a little more artistic than like all of the engineers at all of the Murphs and stuff, Earths and Murphs and all that.
Sure.
It's a great outlet and a great community to find your people, play Halo with some people.
Mhm.
We're all terrible at it because none of us are good at Halo because we're all too busy building Halo things.
Yeah.
And so the costuming community has been a source of never-ending joy to me, and I want to be able to give that to more people. And that's why I'll always encourage people to explore, even if they're just remotely interested, into
I appreciate that a lot.
going into
Yeah.
groups like that. Like there's a lot of groups that really encourage a lot of that individual making and stuff, like the Menomerks and stuff within the 501st. Shout out to those guys. They're great. And being able to express yourself and also make something that that you can put any kind of joy and pain and love into has been excellent. And through that, I've been able to make amazing friends through the 405th.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a community around a common interest and then a common love for a craft around that interest. And it's very like niche, but also becomes a large group at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
which is pretty
That's
cool.
It's really wonderful, because not even just through the 405th, but knowing Halo cosplayers, I never feel like I'm alone,
Yeah.
no matter where I travel to. Like I could
Yep.
go to any part of the United States and hit someone up and go hang out with them.
Nice.
And that's,
Like
I mean, I've told
Shriners
Sarah
were
about
nerdier.
that I've told Sarah about that before with the 501st. There's a garrison literally everywhere in the world. No matter where we go, we just find their forums. We make a post saying, "Hey, we're members of this garrison. We're going to be traveling in town." And next thing you know, you'll have a group of like 10 people in the local garrison that want to go grab a drink with you when you land.
It's
Super cool.
It's so much fun.
We have a few.
I love when
Sorry?
there's communities like that, and it's awesome to be, a part of one. Like whether it's the 3D printing community as a whole, or like you said, the 405th, the Star Wars, they have one. I mean, like I love that there's all communities all over, and I think many of us watching too feel the same way. Like I could say, hey, I'm gonna shoot over to, I don't know, New York next week. Who's over there?
Yeah.
And chances are 5 people will say, I'm here, but I don't want to meet you. So there's that. But no. But I
Only
mean, like,
5?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, the only
good.
5 that
It's
will
me,
respond
Gus, and
are
2
that.
other people.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
3 other people. Yeah.
But no, it's fun. I love that about the maker community in general, and it's really cool that you get to be kind of the like head guy of that. There's so many fun
The
jokes
Hydro Oreos
right now. Yeah, the Hydro Oreos yeah, big thing. I'll buy him a drink. How do I become friends with everyone's? How do I become friends with Gus? Rock Lobster.
I'm going to get very drunk, is what I'm reading.
Yeah,
everybody wants to buy your drink.
I don't know if I can handle that.
We have a few questions, and then I want to get into HotMakes.
Yeah,
so the first one we got was JDS Photography and Videography, which seems to be somebody you know, because they're commenting a lot, which is cool. Asking, how did you do your visor?
So on my Recon helmet, that visor is actually just a piece of one-way window tint.
Well, because that specific visor is flat. It doesn't have to be molded, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have any extra details and stuff. So it's just a piece of that tint that's flat. I actually, but I do need to actually upgrade that, because no visor is just totally flat unless it's specifically designed that way, and none of the Halo visors are that.
No.
The way to do it is to get a vacuum forming buck, which is really easy to do now because of 3D printing. Which is wonderful. But vacuum forming buck and a sheet of PETG, just raw clear PETG from your local plastic store.
And then you just you like boil tint it, or do you put like window tinting on it, or?
No, so it's vacuum formed clear. The shape is clear. Then using a polyester dye, generally used for clothing. You can boil that up and or not boil it, but get it heated up on your stove on a pot that you don't care about, and then you basically dunk it and dye it to get whatever color you want. I've done blue, I've done orange, and I've done gold visors. But there's a whole lot more that you can do. And then to get the one-way mirror effect, you actually spray a chroming paint on the back with like an airbrush or a spray can very lightly.
You can still see through that. I can't talk.
It's a little bit blurry, but you can still generally see through it if you do it right. I've never really done it quite right. That's still something that I'm learning. But it's a really interesting process and really a lot of fun to research. I think Bill Duran, he has a YouTube video on Punish Props has a YouTube video on making one for I think he had an X-Wing pilot visor helmet.
The orange for the orange.
But he's done that for orange. I think there's a whole bunch of YouTube tutorials and stuff. I didn't make don't listen to me. Find an actual visor tutorial, please.
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Okay, we have two other questions. One is Gus dating advice, as in how to date Gus, because he's great. Apparently, what I learned before the show is all you have to do is flatter him.
Yeah, all you have to do.
It doesn't take much.
It doesn't take much. All you have to do is incorporate green and orange into something.
Yeah, I told him I made my background lights green and orange today specifically for him, and he was like, "Yep, you win."
That's it. You win.
Yeah. They're pretty much dating right now.
Yeah.
And then Justin asks, "Where is Utah?"
It's somewhere between
somewhere between the good place and the bad place.
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah, the good place and the bad place.
I love it.
All right. Do you guys want to get into some hot makes? Gus, do you want to hang out with us and check out what some people have submitted this week?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's do it. Let's jump into some hot makes.
The comments are pure gold today. All right.
Yeah, there's an awkward pause there because I'm doing a different setup today, and like everybody on the screen is on a TV that's probably about 7 or 8 feet in front of me, and I need to get glasses, so I couldn't find the bumper in the background to click.
No, I'm watching the comments. They're hilarious. Someone says, "Quit ignoring my texts." Like, this hurt, guys.
Listen, Unfit. I'll stop ignoring your texts when you pay me.
Oh.
No, he doesn't actually owe me.
Dang.
Last time I saw him.
And thanks to everybody for coming to Hot Makes. We appreciate you seeing you guys.
We really have a good cast today. Anyways,
we're back at it. We're back at it. Reel it back in, dude. Reel it back in.
Let's see. Stephen Poole says Optimus Primal painted at 230% with Polymaker Black Draft PLA.
Ooh.
That's like
Optimus Primal.
30% more than 100%.
That looks really neat, is what I would say if my camera wasn't in the way of that part of the screen.
Yeah. It looks awesome.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
Steven,
man,
nice
that looks good.
Work.
That looks excellent.
I love that, like, hiding behind the
Yeah. The jungle
Robot
artifact
monkey.
of Optimus Prime.
Nice
Trunk
work.
button.
All right, what we got next here?
We went to go see that movie on release night in IMAX, and myself, 2 friends, and Sarah the entire night we're just robot monkey, just the whole night. Every time he showed up on screen, robot monkey.
I bet the crowd
Robot
loved you.
monkey. The crowd, yeah, it was a 10 p.m. IMAX show of a Transformers movie, so it was us and like 2 other people in the back of the theater.
What? That's it?
Yeah, that was
What?
it.
Jeez.
It was late
all
at
right.
night. It's one of the more expensive tickets, and everybody's tired of Transformers. Never mind. I can go off about Transformers. Go on. What's next?
Frank said, I painted the statue head of hashtag IFRA. What is this? I don't know.
Ifrit.
Okay,
Maybe.
there we go. Thank you. I appreciate that because I suck at life. For bunch of Final Fantasy numbers here. And no, I'm just joking. Let's just go check it out.
Final Fantasy 87. Like,
yeah, I know, right?
Final Fantasy 16.
that
came
looks
out in
sweet.
1987. That does look awesome.
Yeah, I am. That's massive
for the
too.
thingery.
The thingery.
Look how big
This is
that
3D
freaking
printed?
thing is.
Oh my goodness! Look at the body.
Painted the statue head. I don't know that it says it's.
It doesn't
3D
say
printed.
necessarily that it's 3D printed.
Oh, and
but
speaking of Bill Duran, Bill had to comment on it. Said looking good or good, killer paint job.
I mean,
Frank.
look how big this thing is, though.
Oh, that's awesome.
I don't know.
Sick.
I wish I knew what that. I bet you there's going to be a video on it somewhere.
Yeah, I need to follow.
That's too cool.
What's the
It looks-
thingery? We make things. All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
Nice
Sold.
work. This thing is ridiculous, by the way.
That very, very low bar we have met. There you go.
Hey Sam, that's world famous. All right, award winning.
World famous
Yeah.
award.
All right, next Tom Llama says HotMakes. So this is building a better Star Wars. Hey, turn. Okay, I just make sure volume's down.
Yeah, no, I know how
No.
you work. I turned it off. Oh,
Yeah,
Bruton.
so
Yeah, we were
gonna-
talking
Yeah.
to who were we talking to recently that we were talking about potentially, but he's just James is really, really busy.
Yeah.
But we were talking to somebody recently about possibly getting him on the show somehow. I don't know. It was Angus. I think it was Angus.
Yeah.
Because we were also talking about I Did a Thing. And they're all going to open sauce now too.
Oh man, I
Yeah,
wish I could.
open
make it
source can be awesome.
I know.
There-
I wish
and
I could
then
go too.
A few of them are going from there. Like Angus is going to be up at the Linus Tech
Yeah.
Tips thing
We
too.
get Linus on at some point too. I'm sure Barnacles could hook us up.
There you go.
I just want to. Why don't we just
Look
go
at
to
this thing.
open sauce and get everybody?
Yeah.
Just everybody.
Just start flashing colors at them,
Right.
just like you did.
This
Nothing
thing
gets
is
your
sick.
attention like a good seizure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That AT-AT was amazing though. I really love the.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we didn't even comment on the
Link
thing.
is on the
Yes,
surface.
that is too cool.
You totally ignored his
I'm
His-
sorry.
at.
So there was a Lego set that was an AT-AT that walked,
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
had it.
wondering,
I still have it.
do you really?
Mhm.
That's awesome. That's what that's reminding me of. That's it. That's
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
comment. That was it.
Nice. All right, next. Fire the laser. Says
There we
"Hello,
go.
everyone. I engraved Snoop Dogg onto a piece of stainless steel. Hope you like it. Took me some time. And yeah.
Amazing. Oh my
Love
god.
Little Snoop Dogg, a little fiber laser action going.
Oh,
I'm doing this.
I've been messing around with. I don't have a fiber laser, but I've been messing around with the CO2 laser a lot lately.
Yeah.
I love this stuff. I love seeing what
Right.
people do and coming out. Oh, that's smaller than I thought it was.
That's what she said.
All right.
Well,
Okay.
No, I love the idea of doing the pictures and stuff on stainless steel, and I'm pumped because I mean, who doesn't need Snoop Dogg on stainless steel?
That
that'd
is
be
too
a great
cool,
belt
dude.
buckle that Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg
yes.
would wear.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. I like it.
Love that. I love that idea. All right, what we got next here?
What else we got?
Last but not least, Big Jano.
Big Jano.
Diabo, the Lilith
Diabo.
bust by Chelsea is mind blowing.
Oh, Chelsea Kearney.
Yeah.
That is so cool looking. What is it printed in?
Looks like
Atomic. Oh, okay. Printed solid black glitter and
you go.
atomic candy apple.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
any black
love me some
glitter
Atomic.
filament is the best. It
Mhm.
not
It's
only
so
hides
cool.
crimes, those crafting crimes, they strike again, but it's just
Crafting dun, dun, dun. Yeah, the black
That's cool
glitter.
looking.
I mean, yeah.
What is that? What is that printed on? Do you guys recognize that? Looks like a.
It looks like this is
I mean,
Solval SVO6. It looks like,
yeah.
or
Think so?
it's either SVO6 or SVO6 plus. I can't tell.
I mean, it's
definitely Solval.
It looks like a
Anyway,
Mark III clone with injected parts. So
the model
Yeah.
is awesome. The filament is awesome. The print is clean.
yeah.
Oh,
And do you think that some of that has to do with the glitter filament though?
I mean, maybe
yeah.
if it well, let's be real. It's printed solid filament. That's top tier stuff.
That's fair.
Soul black glitter. Yeah.
No, top tier stuff plus black glitter. Then you've got a
hmm
11 out of 10 print. That's dialing it up.
Man.
And it's called Soul Black, so it kind of fits with the theme, the Diablo theme.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
about as dark as my room.
I love it. Well, nice work, Big Jano. I can't wait. I'm pretty sure
Fantastic.
Big Jano said he's going to be at Murph this weekend.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Maybe we'll find out. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I know Fix 'em Dude's going to be there, right? $5 earlier from Fix 'em Dude. Thank you so much, Fix 'em Dude. The real Sam Prentice, not the fake one. He's in the USA, so hide your moms.
I thought, oh wow, hide your pancakes,
hide your pancakes,
hide your mom's
flapjacks.
flapjacks.
I kind of Fix 'em Dude says, yep. I kind of like I envision, like I said earlier, like Sam down on all fours and
I don't like you
tripod
doing this
with
again to me.
his
Why are you doing
short
this
leg
again?
on Sam's back and walking
wanna-
like an AT-AT.
I don't want to picture
No?
this in my head. This is somebody. There's a Rule
That is
34
quite the
somewhere of this.
image.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like
I
it.
love it.
But Sam Prentice is the new pooch table, is what I'm hearing.
I love it. Well, we're going to see anybody out there who's going to Murph. We'll see you this weekend. And if you're there, take
Sam
all of
says,
the pictures.
and your nans.
Take all of the pictures and tag #HotMakes, because next week on Monday, I think we're going to do a HotMakes episode where we go back and check out the cool stuff from
Looks like
Murph.
Zombie changed his name back.
Zombie, $1.49. Thank you so much.
There we go.
$1.49. Road trip vibes. Yeah. Are you coming?
I love
Did
that
hear
guy.
you were coming too? I think.
Is Zombie going to be there?
I thought I heard that Zombie was going to be there.
That'd be awesome.
With
Justin will be
with
there.
Polymaker, maybe. Yeah. I know Justin
yeah.
will be there.
I'm excited to see his photos.
Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. But take all of the pictures.
Yeah.
Take pictures of everything you can find, and
Yeah.
tag
Anything at
#HotMakes
Murph.
on the Twitters. Because
Use the Murph
next
hashtag,
week-
use the HotMakes tag, and so next week we're gonna do a recap show. We're just gonna look at everything people were up to, and Jim's gonna be there. So Jim's gonna give the inside scoop. Don't tag. What are you trying to do? You're trying to make me feel sad.
Yeah, tag Caleb. and
Everybody
everything.
tag Caleb at the event that he's not going to.
Caleb or Geary. Geary, if you tag Geary, Caleb will see it.
Why would I see that?
Because he's part of our team.
Yeah.
Of course. Duh. Jeez. But it'll be so much fun. We'll see you. But that's next Monday. What do we got coming up after that? We had July. I'm sorry. Where am I at here? July 3rd. We have FR3D or Fred, however you want to say it. The 3D printing.
Still on the fence about that one.
Oh, we're on the fence. We're not sure. July 10th, Retro Maker, and the 17th.
Actually,
we got something coming.
I actually had somebody lined up for the 17th. I just forgot to put them on our list. So we'll definitely announce that next week.
I like this idea.
Perfect. Pocket Caleb's.
It'll be.
We just need to print pocket Caleb's and put them everywhere.
It's like Pocket Sand.
Yeah.
Just throw them in people's faces.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't really like them, to be
So
fair.
it's not that I don't like them. It's that they aren't all that they're cracked up to be for me. Like they're also
cracked
messy.
up to be.
I don't like messy food.
They
That's
are
the other
very
problem.
messy.
You take
And-
one bite and it just
Ever
everywhere.
since your hair fell off your head and landed on your face, it's much harder to eat. messy donut too. So
It is. Yeah. Oh yeah. I ate a donut for breakfast this morning and I immediately was like rubbing my face with water before I left for work.
So we should take a poll. Well, we don't have time now. We gotta
Hot
get
Pocket
going now,
Caleb's.
but
There we
you go. There you go. If you print it in PLA, it'll just be a melted puddle in Sam's pocket by the end of it. I was gonna say we should take a. Is it gonna be crazy hot this weekend, or like very watery in there? I mean, is it gonna be a swimming pool again? You just never know what you're gonna get at Murph.
Find out.
So when you get there, you're gonna find out. But whoever's going, we will see you there. Come say hi, find us, and all that happy stuff. Don't forget, hashtag HotMakes. Hopefully it's on the bottom there. So it's not on the bottom right now, but hashtag HotMakes.
Wow, I just realized I never turned that on.
The bottom, and
I never turned that on the whole show.
I was feeling so lonely down here.
Yeah. Maybe we could tag Caleb and everything on Twitter too. Anyways, before we get going, we are running late. Before we get going, let everybody know where we can find you.
One more time.
And like, do you sell anything like on Etsy or anything, or just do everything yourself too? That's
not at the moment.
Question.
I mostly am independent creator, and I do like commission basis. So if you want to buy anything from me, contact me, and I'll be like, I might be, maybe, and then we'll
and then he'll smash it.
Oh. Yeah. But
hey, we had it was like 50 something %. So not the vast majority, but the majority did say to smash it.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Well, see, I'm not gonna smash it then if it wasn't the majority.
It was though.
Yeah.
Just at 50 something
I didn't
%.
hear you. Actually, I'm going to the tunnel.
We call it.
I can't hear you very well. That's so strange.
Call it the smashed avocado.
Yeah.
But you can find me at Studleyavocado on Instagram. That's probably the most reliable place to find me.
Boom.
And Twitter.
There you go.
And Twitter.
Studleyavocado, and the link in the description below. Check that out.
Yes. Links to both of those are in the description below.
Don't forget, find the good stuff. Tag us, hashtag HotMakes, and we will see you next week with a little Murph recap. If you're going to Murph this weekend, I'm seeing how many times I can say Murph, so everyone who's
Murph.
If you're going to Murph, we'll see you in a few days. In 4 or 5 days here.
It's fast.
And I think that's it. So everybody else have a great week. Whoever's going, we'll see you this weekend, and everybody else, we'll see you next week. Cool.
Later.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us, Gus. Hang on in the background. We'll be there.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.